And here it is. This is the car we bought. £2,500 gets you this little vehicle. This is a Renault Zoe, 22 kilowatts, 2015 with 48,000 miles. This was the cheapest electric vehicle I could find, and let's go around it. So how it is to drive this new to me Renault Zoe. It's quite comfortable on the roads. The seats are very nice and supporting. They have a very good design. It's quite stable and quite nimble, which I like very much so compared to my previous car, which was a Nissan Leaf. Some videos are on the channel if you want to go back and watch that. It's quite nimble and it's like a little go-kart. It just goes so nice. Battery, as I mentioned, it is small, but it's more than enough for what we need. So you can easily fit the shopping. There's a picture of how much I can fit in this. There's enough space for 2 adults and 2 children, which is exactly what we need. So yeah, I drove this vehicle now for about 500 miles. I can safely say it's a very pleasant drive. The seats are comfortable, are supportive. There is a bit of a lack of storage, but enough to put a cup holder and some bits and bobs. That is not a big issue. Visibility is a big plus in this little vehicle. I can tell you that. Don't know, maybe the screen is a bit more upright or what's going on, but I have a lot more visibility than a Nissan Leaf and a Hyundai Ioniq, for example, both being small battery cars. Other than that, you don't have a lot going on. You have 4 electric windows, electrically adjusted mirrors. That's all nice. You have a very basic climate control, which has an automatic function, works over the heat pump, which is connected to a 1.8 kilowatt, I want to say, resistive heater, which does its job, and it consumes not too much energy because of how the size of the vehicle plays out. So that is all nice. Let's turn the sound down. With regards to infotainment, not a lot to report, but probably I'll give you a picture of this. It is very nice because it says how much kilowatts are you actually using. So compared to the other vehicles which don't really tell you the usage on kilowatts, they tell you how much percentage do you have and they tell you how many miles per kilowatt are you getting. This little car, on top of everything, it tells you how many miles per kilowatt are you doing, and also it tells you how many kilowatts have you used. So if you have a good understanding of how many kilowatts are in your battery, then this is quite a good option to have, which I will show you how we find out exactly how many kilowatts this little car has and how many will have left at different stages, but can actually look at this on the go, so not a big issue. Right, here we are at the interior. So don't know how much comes into the camera, how good the visibility is on this little vehicle, but it's great. With other regards, so we have automatic headlights, very nice. Automatic wipers, absolutely brilliant. It's a very small dash, but it gives you most of the information you need. So this is how much miles we have to do. We still have left. It doesn't give you a percentage, but I will tell you that indicator is pretty much spot on. You have here the odometer and how many miles driven. It gives you how much the energy is being put out of the battery pack. This is how the last time the trip computer was resetted. So this is how many kilowatts were used. This is how much distance we have driven. And this is the efficiency and the average speed. Pretty much everything we need. We have cruise control. It's not adaptive, but it's normal. 4 electric windows, electric adjusted rear view mirrors, electrically adjusted headlights, opening the charge port button. The screen is quite rudimentary, not a lot of stuff, so a little map which is probably 10 years out of date. This is where you can access your media, your radio, all this nice good stuff. And this is what this car lives all the time, which gives you all the information needed. The region, kilowatt hour, after braking consumptions, whatnot, how much it was used in this distance, and what is the efficiency in miles per kilowatt hour. And I can safely report all of this is pretty much bang on. The sound system, yeah, it's not great, it's not bad. But other than that, and if I try and remove a bit this one so you can see, this is the heating panel, HVAC panel, which is quite simple. Automatic lamp control, set it on, nothing to report there. With regards to this space where I have fitted my Apple Android Auto screen, that patch is pretty much useless now because I have my little inverter that powers this screen there. And we have a good old-fashioned handbrake lever, who remembers them. Other than that, there is a nice little shelf here and a very small, not much, it's just a bit above, with regards to the glove compartment. Now here are the seats, which I think are quite funky, quite nice, and up 10-11 years they had held really nice. The car came along with its two keys, which everybody knows how the Renault bits look like. So yeah, just going on these little country roads, it's very nice. Just a little go-kart. Obviously, the little weight that this vehicle has really plays into everything, so it's just a nice car to drive. And for the price we paid for it, yeah, brilliant. Can't have anything nicer. And for whatever we need to use it as the second car, because it is a second car, you can't have this if you'd have to do a lot of stuff to do around, but if you just do, I don't know, like 5-10 miles, yeah, you can have this as a second car, not a problem. Here at the top, just a rear view mirror, nothing else. We have a mirror here on this side and two mirrors. Quite exciting, probably never gonna be used. Interior rear view. There's a funky design on the roof, but there are no rear view lights. For us, as said, is a second car. Take the kids to their activities, do some shopping, drive me to work and back. Very easy, he can do this without any problems. So we drove it for, I'll say maybe 500 miles so far. Can easily get 60 miles out of this 15 kilowatt battery left. And for the amount of money we paid for this car, which again it was 2,500, there is nothing to report as being on. With regards to how the car performs and what had to be done so far, there was one control arm on the left hand side that had to be changed because one of the rubber bushings was going. That was £100, and one set of H7 bulbs because one of the headlights is gone while driving you back. That costed me about, what was it, 14 or 13 pounds, something around that. We are 113. And to drive back from Cambridge area where I bought this vehicle, 270 miles away from where we are now, that costed £40. I put and walked through how the journey has played in. It was a very long, tedious journey because I didn't know the car. But all in all, we are, was that 2,550, no, sorry, £2,650 in all cost. From this on it cost maybe, let's say, £5 a week for me to drive this car. Insurance is cheaper than the previous vehicle, which was a Leaf. Yeah, all in all, very good, nice vehicle. Here's the space in the back, which we can see fits definitely two child seats. This seat is in my driving position. I'm 6'1", and I think there's quite a good space. Flat floor, everything fits in here. Kids have quite good visibility. As I said, they are quite raised up, and they can see the windscreens very nice. Let's see how far. Oh, pardon. Unblock those seats. Let's see how far down do they go. And oh, look at that! All the way down. Very impressive for a very old little vehicle. And as you can see, even when this was done, it's quite cheap. You can still hear it. With regards to the space in the back, I think it's quite a deep, good space. We have even more space if I can pull this out. Underneath this, but with there we are, there's more space underneath that can be used in any case, but so far whatever I have done, it is not needed, so quite a good space. This vehicle has only 88 brake horsepower. It is a 2011, no, what is it? Sorry, 2015, so it's an 11 almost year old vehicle. It has 48,000 miles, 48,365 miles kilometer to be correct. But those 88 brake horsepower, they don't feel like too little. It goes there. We live in a bit of a hilly area, so going up the hill, not a problem. Even with 4 passengers, it goes very smoothly. Or the passenger and in the back, again, not an issue. There is enough space for them to sit in. Those are mainly designed for my kids in this vehicle. It's all nice, very cheap, very nice motoring. It's a brilliant little vehicle. We get more for our money than the previous car, which was a Nissan Leaf, because it was less efficient. It's a lot more efficient. With regards to braking, it doesn't have different levels of braking, but how it works in the Renault Zoe, you have the Eco versus normal mode, which will feather in the throttling and the braking. But if you want rigid braking, it's just the brake pedal does that. So if you go like sort of halfway in, you get rigid braking. After the halfway point, if you need more braking power, then it's when the brakes come in. So very nice, feather in. It took probably 200 miles to get used to that system because I didn't see it before. But and let's go around the car. Don't worry, the little LEDs don't flicker in real life. It's only on the video. Yeah. So as you can see, it looks in quite a good option. It doesn't have any dings, any bangs, anything. It's all straight. The vehicle has not been in an accident. It is quite dirty, so I do apologize for that, but it was quite a dirty, rainy week this week. So with regards to imperfections or whatever we have on the outside, it's not a lot to report. As we can see, the wheels look in quite a good shape. We'll ignore the tires for now, those will be changed, but they are still legal, they are still very good to be driven. We can see not a lot of stuff. The only thing I can find, and I can still report, there's a bit of scratch damage. I don't know if it can be seen, maybe you can see it here a bit, and a few scratches here. Don't know if it shows on camera, they are very subtle. Other than that, all is good. So we can see quite a straight vehicle. Do like the little blue tint on the windows. The black tint on the back is not too inclusive. I think it still looks, for a 10-year-old car, quite impressive. Everything looks nice, tidy and smart. So even for 10-11-year-old car, I do think this is quite a nice looking car. Oh, here we are, something I haven't seen before. If few scratches that I'm sure you can see. That one probably won't come out for a polish, but it's a £2,500 10-year-old car. You can't get any more better than that. Right, and here we are looking at the battery state of health and all this good stuff. So as we can see, we have 7.5 available kilowatts to be used. So we do that 7.5 times the 4.2. So I don't know, what's that, like something more like 30 miles of range left and 8.7 left. So all of that comes about 16.2. So we have 16 kilowatts left out of the whole battery pack, and as you can see, that is the port collected at 65% state of charge. Looking at this vehicle, we say 16 kilowatts at the 4. Let's take an average of 4 miles per kilowatt hour. That is at least 60 miles of range, which is not a problem for myself. We can charge at home on a free tariff. I have chargers at work that works very well, and the longest journey I will do in a day of the week is going to be 50 miles. That means from work to school back at the house. So plenty of range left for whatever I needed for a second vehicle. Absolutely brilliant. We'll do all the nice tests of range, of distance, of charging speeds, how it works, how much does it cost, but those are in the next videos. We'll probably start making some money with some Amazon deliveries on this vehicle, see how it performs. Yeah. Thank you very much for watching. See you on the next one.